Hey, welcome to my journey. Long time no prep. It's been a few weeks, and I thought today I might better get back at it just to help myself have something to eat because I have been struggling, thinking of different things, not really been eating the way I should. I mean, I've been losing weight, but I've not really been eating the way I should. So I thought we'll get back at it today. So for breakfast, this is a recipe that I've kind of changed up a little bit, not much, but it was from a subscriber, Sylvia. She put it on her Facebook page. I'm like, well, that sounds good. I think I'll do it this week. It's oh my gosh, I don't even know what you want to call it. Sausage, cream cheese, hash brown, casserole. It's got all the things in it. So we're making that. And then for lunch, easiest meal prep ever because I wanted it that way. Just some cut up hot dogs, fried up a little bit, and some taters in sauce, I think it's bird's eye maybe, that you just microwave, and that's it. That was the easiest thing. See, prep doesn't have to be a big ordeal. It just does not. It can be anything you need to do to set yourself up for success. Even if you're not on a weight loss journey, if you're just a busy person and you need something to eat on the go, something when you're just too tired to cook, spend a little bit of energy on one day, a few hours, get yourself ready. Even if you're just prepping ingredients, you get home from work and that will help you. You have those ingredients ready to go. That a lot of mine, like if I have to chop an onion, end of the world. That's why I keep a bowl of chopped onions in my refrigerator, because not much I hate worse than having to stop and chop an onion for a recipe. Isn't that ridiculous? But as my daughter would say when she was little, that's just who I am. And then for a snack, dessert, whatever you want to call it, is Pound Dropper's Funfetti Cheesecake. Haven't made one of her cheesecakes in a long time. Have made many of them, and every one of them was good. I'm trying to think, one of my favorites was either the chocolate fudge or the chocolate peanut butter. Of course, I'm partial to the pumpkin. I like the lemon. I like all the ones I've tried. The mocha, I like them all. I've not been against any of them. Now, I wish I had started tomorrow so you could see that after it sets, but you'll get the idea of what it looks like. And so that's what we're having this week. It didn't take me very long at all. Most of the time that it took was waiting for things to bake. That's it. So other than that, that's all I know. And we will just turn around and get started cooking on this meal prep. Today we're going to start on lunch because I want to use the same frying pan and I don't want to wash it in between. And y'all know I don't mind piggybacking off of a pot or a pan. Just makes cleanup that much easier. So I've preheated it. And what I have here, you can use smoked sausages. These are the Sam's Club all beef hot dogs that they use in their little deli, or little whatever you call it. And they sell them in the store as well. Well, David decided after we got them, he doesn't really like them. And I do. So instead of a smoked sausage, which just was basically like a smoked sausage, I had them in the freezer. I thought, well, I need to use them up. So I'm just going to fry these up. All I'll need is 2, but I'm going to go here while I'm cooking and cook this third one, because I'm going to try to make 4 bowls. Now I'm just going to brown these. Just brown them to your desire. And then what I'm going to do, hold on. In the meantime, the easiest lunch prep ever. I'm going to cook these. I have 2 bags of them. I hope that won't be too much. But it's these sauce, garlic butter, roasted red potatoes. You just microwave them. That's all I'm going to do. I'm going to fry some sausages, microwave some potatoes. Lunch is done. Alright, easy peasy. Here are my potatoes. I only want to do 4 dishes, and what's left I will put in something for David. Okay. I'm not gonna measure this. I'm just gonna do like a little spatula. This will honestly be more than I can eat. Make yours the size you want. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put them all in here, and then what I don't eat for my lunch, I would just sit over here on the table and pick on it the rest of the day. Instead of like a Slim Jim or something, I can just pick on sausage. That'll be just fine. All right, there's lunch. Now let's go start on breakfast. First thing we need to do is cook our sausage. I only need a half a pound, but I'm gonna go ahead and cook the whole thing. And that way, next time I need a half a pound, it'll already be cooked. So we will just cook that and chop it up until it's done. The sausage is done, so I'm just going to eyeball 8 ounces. I'll put this in here to cool, and then I'll, like I said, pop it in the freezer. I went ahead and turned my burner off because we're going to let the residual heat, hold on, let me find it. 4 ounces of cream cheese. I want it to melt into the sausage. I don't want it to just be loose in little blobs. So we would just stir this around until it melts. Okay, I think that's pretty good. Now I'm going to add in, I'm just going to use the whole pack of these Simply Potatoes shredded hash browns. The recipe for a 9x13 calls for 30 ounces. And I didn't feel like using the frozen. And I didn't feel like leaving 10 ounces out of this because it's a 20 ounce bag. So, not 20, 5 ounces. No, 20 ounces. Yeah. I would need 15 ounces. And I'm not going to say 5 ounces of potatoes out for something. So we're just going to try to mix this in a little bit. I guess if you wanted it more meaty, you could do the whole pound of sausage, but I don't need that big of a casserole. This is going to be way more than I need. I can imagine if it was a full recipe. Now come over here just a minute. We have 3 eggs, 1/4 cup of milk, whatever kind of milk you want to use, and some salt and pepper. You know, I'm not big on pepper, so it's just an obligatory amount. We'll put a good bit of salt in there because those potatoes will take it up. Let's see, I think my pan is cool off enough. We'll just slide it over here. So we're going to pour in our eggs, and then a half a cup or 4 ounces of shredded cheddar cheese. Seems kind of dry to me. And I don't think 5 ounces of potatoes would make that big of a difference. I could be wrong. Alright, it took a little bit to get all that mixed in, but maybe that is enough eggs. Now what I'm going to do differently also is I'm going to bake it in my little meal prep bowls. Let me get those. I only want 4. And I don't want them huge. So I think I'm going to have too much. I have a 5th one on here for David. Actually, I'm going to need to get my other bowl. Be sure and spray these because I feel like they would stick like crazy. I have my oven preheated to 350. The full recipe says 40 to 45 minutes. I got a feeling these are not going to take that long being so small. Let's see. I'll probably check them after 30 minutes. And then since these are going to be in the oven, I'm not going to start our cheesecake until they come out. Now we're going to make Pound Dropper's Funfetti Cheesecake. When I was on Weight Watchers, I made so many of her cheesecakes, it wasn't even funny. Now, I'm going to tell you, it don't taste like a cheesecake, but it's good. I've not made one of these in so long that it just run across my mind. I'm like, I need to make that. I will suggest you can do this with a hand whisk. Use an electric beater or your KitchenAid. I don't care. But your arm will get tired because when that yogurt goes in there, it gets thick. So first we have 3 eggs. Now you can go to her website and some of her recipes have varying little ingredients that some of these plainer ones don't. But the basic is the same. So we got 3 eggs. And we want a tablespoon of vanilla. Close enough. 3 tablespoons of cake mix. And we're going to use the Funfetti. Now, some of her earlier recipes, I don't think she used the cake mix. I think she came up with that later on. But I've made them both ways, and it makes a difference. If her recipe doesn't say a cake mix, pick you out a cake mix that goes with that flavor, and absolutely use it. And now we're going to add 3 cups of non-fat plain Greek yogurt. I've tried different ones. Once I tried Fage, I've never used another one. There's just something that I think makes it better. I think because it's a thicker yogurt, I just think it makes for a better cheesecake. That's just my opinion, but you use whatever kind of plain non-fat Greek yogurt you want to use. And then a box of sugar-free Jell-O. Now you can use cheesecake flavor, which is what I'm going to use here, or vanilla. And then of course your chocolate ones use chocolate, your lemon ones use lemon. So there again, the ingredients will vary depending on the flavor of cheesecake that you're making. So we just want to blend this up until it's completely combined. Okay, let's give this a little scoop just to make sure we don't have any plain yogurt stuck at the bottom. I think we look pretty good. Let me hit it one more time. Now, I think she uses a 9-inch springform pan. I don't have one of those, so I've always used this. It's a 10 by 10 corningware dish. Never had a lick of trouble out of it. So, spray it, and I have my oven still at 350 from where I have my breakfast in there. Oh, I can't hardly hold this. I'm trying not to come in front of y'all, but it ain't really working. Okay, we just want to spread it around. Now you can see there's not very many sprinkles in that cake mix. Of course, you're not going to get many out of 3 tablespoons, but we're going to fix that. We're going to add some sprinkles on top. Isn't that pretty? Now this will bake for 30 minutes. I have never baked it a second longer. 30 minutes and it comes out perfect every single time. Here is what we did today. Our breakfast casseroles. I didn't bake them until they were really brown on top because they're going to sit in the fridge and they'll dry out a little bit. And then I'm going to microwave them. So they're set, but I didn't brown them. I didn't want the taters to get crunchy or nothing like that. So there's those. And then here is my simple little lunch prep with my fried hot dogs and little frozen potatoes. I think it's garlic butter sauce. And then here is our Funfetti Cheesecake. Now this is fresh out of the oven. Since I didn't do this the day before, you won't see it after it's set in the refrigerator for overnight because you need to do that before you eat it. It's puffed up, but as it cools, it will sink. And it will get a nice texture to it. Creamy texture. But before you cover this, you need to let it cool completely. And then what I always do, even though it's cool, I put a paper towel over it and then I cover it. I used to have a piece of beeswax cloth that I got from Trader Joe's many years ago. And that was my dedicated cheesecake cover I used on this, and it finally wore out where the beeswax was coming off. So now I'll either just cover it in plastic or tinfoil, probably plastic just to get a good tight seal. But that paper towel, in case there is any moisture left, will catch it and it will not drip down on your cheesecake, which is gross. So that is how you do this. All right, there's what we did today. Wasn't hard, didn't take too long, and I think it'll set me up for a good week ahead. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you're prepping something, I hope you're prepping something good, and I'll see you when I see you.